again, Jim Dowson here, your guest presenter on the Templar Daily Report. Now, I was going to try and get a guest today, but I think it's been postponed to tomorrow. So, unfortunately for you, you're stuck with me. Now, who's in the room? Iwan Egerstrom, how you doing? Gary Hardwick, Les Androkovich, good on you. Gary Hardwick, who we got? Alex Jockster Catterall, William Petit, good man himself. Do I miss anybody? Oh, Tara Templeton, good to see you. Naomi Ford, nice to see you. Social distancing, it's crazy. I know, everyone's going mad with this social distancing, it's nuts. Paul Telford from rainy Liverpool, always is. John Ailing, nice to see you, brother. Bert Myers, how you doing? Nice to see you up there in Michigan. Mark Anthony Smith, nice to see you. Scott Rash, Geminis Fortumus, nice to see you. William Muntford, Lady Rotha, oh faithful Lady Rotha, she's always in, good to see you. Dan Guerra, the Templar family, you better believe it. Michael B, nice to see you as well. Troy Otto over in Florida there. And Malcolm Cook, Kenneth Driver, nice to see you, Kenneth. Cherry B, nice to see you. I've seen Dan Guerra, haven't I? GoFundMe, what's this?
For the wee lad.
Yeah, what's that there? No, Defence Fund for the wee guy shot them by his GoFundMe deleted. Of course they would. Somebody said yesterday, why don't you put a GoFundMe up? It's a waste of time, they'll take it down. EMS Rejuvenation, Mr. Makoka. Lady Rotha, yeah, I see her there. Who we got? Joseph Taylor, how you doing, Joseph? Nice to see you. Neville Walker. My good friend Andy's in. Andy, how are you? I hope you're keeping well, my friend. Brian Payton, he's in Florida as well. A lot of folk in Florida. Joseph Brooks from England. You're more than welcome, Joseph. Nice to see you. Robert Erickson, Greg Howarth, nice to see you. Gary Johnson from Alabama. Good to see you. God bless you, my friend. I think we're getting down there. Dr. Louis de Meleri from Delaware. Nice, Delaware. Yeah, who else we got there? Chris White, nice to see you. Heinrich Johansson, nice to see you too. The Big McConnell's in. Shelna Heron, he's in. Naomi Ford, good to see you. Stephen Carden, excellent. It's very good. Nice to see you in there. There's quite a lot in there actually, so I'll probably pull off there and see some of these later on. Okay, now let's start with a wee bit of scripture because it's always good to start the thing off on the right foot. And I'm in James because I'm doing these studies in James, as you know, at the weekend. So I'm keeping in here and it refreshes me as well. So we're still in chapter 1, verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious and bridleth not his tongue, but deceive his own heart, this man's religion is in vain. Pure religion and undefiled before God and the fathers is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. So there you go. So you say you're a Christian, but you're talking utter nonsense. It's not good. And the true mark of a Christian is helping those who need help. And that's what the Templars are all about. It's not all about us. It's about how we can serve, not about how much power we can attain. You know, we're a fairly powerful organisation with contacts in most parliaments throughout the world. But it's not about that. We use these contacts and power, to then project assistance on people who need it. And you know, we've dug wells for people, we've built things for people. In Hungary we have a big Christmas drive for all the poor kids, and we have a good prior over there who gathers up truckloads of toys and distributes them around these real unbelievable poverty-stricken villages. And most times it's the only thing that these wee poor kids get. Poor white people just living in cabins. It's terrible. You've never seen it like it. But I've been there a couple of years ago before they threw me out and helped. And that's what it's all about. The true strength in a man is how much he helps others, not how much he looks for people to help him or assist him or promote him. We're here to serve others. And if you don't understand that, you shouldn't be in the Templars. And if people are thinking of joining the Templars, they think it elevates them up and makes them powerful, well, you're joining for the wrong reasons. Yes, it'll elevate you up. And yes, it'll give you access to people you'd never believe you'd have access to worldwide. But the main motive for joining is for you to bring something to the table that can add to helping others. That's it. People get confused about that. It's very dangerous. Right, I want to talk to you today again. I'm going back to this. Let's carry on in Wisconsin with this guy, Jacob Blake, was shot 7 times in the back and now he's paralysed. He's still alive, miraculously. But I've got to say, you know, what takes a special type of madness. You get 4 or 5 cops pointing guns at you and you don't obey them, and then you go and dive into your car. I would have shot him. I've got to say that. I would have shot him and took the consequences, because I'd rather appear in court than appear in a casket. And that guy's jumping into his car. He's not obeying the police's instructions to keep away from the car and get his hands up. You don't know what he's getting in there for. They know him. They're local cops. They know he's a felon of some repute. I'd have shot him. I've had to make the call. I'd have shot him. That's it. What can you say? But I want to read this out. Wisconsin Attorney General says Jacob Blake, that's the guy who got shot, admitted he had a knife in his car. Kenosha police scanner audio indicates that police opened fire on 29-year-old Jacob Blake less than 5 minutes after they were initially contacted. According to the audio obtained by Madison 365, someone called police to report that Blake was at her home and wasn't supposed to be, and that he had taken her keys and refusing to give them back. About 30 seconds later, she let patrol officers know that there was an alert at this address for a 9-9 for this subject. It just sounds like some kind of restraining order or something like that, maybe. Apparently to indicate that a warrant had been issued for Blake's arrest. Court records indicate a warrant was issued on 3 charges. The Wisconsin Department of Justice Wednesday evening named the officer who shot Jacob Blake and provided additional information about the shooting. Blake had a knife on the driver's side floorboard, the DOJ said in the news release. Department of Justice. He had a knife on the floor. Think about that. Officers tried to arrest Blake. One of the officers deployed a taser to stop him, but it did not work. Blake told police he had a knife. In an interview following the shooting, it is unclear whether responding officers knew Blake had a knife or not. But the thing is, he's diving in the car for someone who's not obeying instructions, and you're pointing guns at him. Could this have been an attempt to be suicide by cop? I don't know. But I think it's very unfair what's happening to the police. But look, from this, the world's went mad. They went crazy. And I want to just show you a picture here of the aftermath. Look at this. Watch this wee video. This is no downtown Detroit. This is Wisconsin. Incredible. Unbelievable, isn't it? Now, some of the footage coming out of Wisconsin is truly shocking, because I go to Wisconsin quite a lot. I go to a place called Argyle and Monroe. Good Scottish names. And the next big town is Madison. That was the scene of many riots in the 1960s, the student movement. But I go there quite regular. I know Wisconsin very well from the bottom to the top. And I went there once to demonstrate at a nudist beach where everybody was taking their clothes off, and what a sight. The things I've seen no man should see. Let me tell you, have you ever noticed that, folks? The people who are always banging on about nudist beaches and freedom and to take their clothes off are the very people that you just don't want them to take their clothes off. There's something to be said about them burqas in such cases, and that goes for men and women. Dear me, I was there the whole day. The sights I've seen scarred me mentally for life. Horrific. But we managed to stop it, and a lot of good Christian friends of mine are in Wisconsin. But to see this coming out of Wisconsin, you'd expect this in maybe the Bronx or Philly or parts of Boston or Watts or some of the ghettos in LA, but it's coming out of Wisconsin. What's going on? But all of this nonsense because a guy, in my opinion, he was more or less trying to commit suicide by cop, and you see the damage it's done there. It's unacceptable. It really is unacceptable. The aftermath and the damage has been done. And I'm not just talking about physical damage to buildings. I'm talking about the damage to community relations. People seem intent in starting a race war. And we're the bad guys. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If America's so racist, how come it had a black president? Britain's never had a black prime minister. Is Canada the most liberal country in the world? Have they had a black prime minister or whatever they call them up there? I don't know. So, if America's so racist, how did that happen? No, people are deliberately fermenting and agitating for a race war. And I don't think there's anything we can do to stop it. Nobody goes looking for a fight, but if people start a fight, you need to make sure you can finish it. So let them start it, we'll finish it. Nothing else we can do about it. It's all right sitting navel-gazing and talking about the semantics of it and how it's all unnecessary. Yeah, it is. I agree with every bit of it. But once the bullets start flying, you've got to fight. That's it. The sense is out the window and you've got to win. You've got to fight and win. And then we can try and get some sense back. So I would like to ask everybody, pray for America, because, I mean, this is strange. We always thought it was Europe that was going to explode first into fragmentation and civil strife. It looks as if it's going to be America. And that really has taken even the Templars by surprise. We really did think it'd be Holland or Belgium or Germany that would explode first, but it looks as if it's going to be America. So let's all pray that God would have his guiding hand upon America and the good people of America and give them the courage and grace they would need to defend themselves and perhaps fight a war and win that war and build a land that was once there. Probably the closest mankind's ever building heaven on earth. So on behalf of the Templars, we wish you all the very best. We wish you Godspeed, and we would ask everybody to seek the Lord's advice on this very grave situation, because this is going to get worse. Make no mistake about it. It's going to get worse, far worse. And the Democrats now will be stirring it up coming up for the election, but it might backfire on them, because it's all right saying you want a democratic government, but everybody, even the Liberals know, my goodness, they wouldn't be able to control this, and they know deep down Trump could control it, but it's a very difficult situation all round. Now, I bring you good tidings and greetings, and I want to just show your latest progress. It's still raining. It's been raining for 5 or 6 weeks. It's unbelievable. Never seen it like it. Well, despite all of that, there's what we got to today. That's the gaps. The gaps there for the door, for the windows over on the other side, over by the church. The double windows, there's double windows get in there. These Gothic windows. So we're getting up. We've got the DPC, damp-proof course in. We've done all that. We've done the air vents. We're putting a wooden floor in it because I don't like these concrete floors. They're very cold in your feet, and a lot of your people are elderly, especially the Priory people. They're old, and I don't want people sitting getting chilblains. So I've said, look, put a floor in. It might cost another $600 or $700, but it's worth it to save somebody feeling very uncomfortable. These are the type of windows that's going in. This is one that's been glazed, so they're like that. In the chapter house, obviously the church will have, like Templar windows, but these are the kind of things we're putting in. This is the thing here. Do you have an? Is that the only picture of the window you got? There's a double one with a header on it. I'll show you that maybe tomorrow. So we've made the openings for them. Everyone's going, but you can imagine how beautiful that's going to be when it's all done. And if you come and visit us, you can sit in there and you can see the wonderful job that the lads are doing. And again, I'd like to thank all the boys and girls who are involved and giving their time freely to make this a reality. And I cannot leave out all the fantastic people who have been donating. The ferret inside. People have been doing very well, and God bless each and every one of these who's donated. Still a wee bit slow, to be honest, but I know times are hard, so there's no problem. But if anybody's out there, I say it hasn't donated yet, please consider doing so. It's very important. It's for everybody. It's not just for the Irish Priory. This is a great privilege of having a worldwide importance because of the chapel for the dead, for the glorious dead. At the end of the link, St. Donard Templar Priory Project. Your mortal remains might end up in there one day. So let's make sure we get it done and doing it, because it's going to be a great place. And as I say, one day, quite a lot of folk watching this, including myself, maybe will end our last mortal remains or bitsies or whatever will end up in there, and that'll be marvellous. And I know we'll be dead, but just being a part of the future, and the generations that come after us, we don't know what world they're going to live in, but it's going to be very different. It's going to be very dangerous. I think it'll be like something like a Mad Max movie, to be quite honest with you. So I want to be in there with my comrades, with the fellow knights, some of the dames, good people in there, with the chanting every day, 365 days a year, burning, with the red sanctuary light glowing, the chants going every day. That's what I want to be. I want to spend, my mortal remains should be in there, I need to ask people on here, do not call for violence in the chat, as it leaves us vulnerable for deplatform. Don't do it. We have to remove them. Anybody puts up stuff calling for violence, we need to remove it immediately. If somebody does it again, we'll take you off, because we don't know. Half the people, trolls do that, you see, they come on and do this stuff, then they report themselves, but they're using a fake account, and then it gets your account taken down, job done. So a wee bit of restraint. Templars are known for our wisdom, so show some wisdom, please, and don't put stuff that's dodgy up, because the press will Photoshop that or copy it and then report that. We've had all that with Facebook. People say mad stuff, they copy it and then say, look what they're supporting. So don't do it. It's very difficult. Yeah, Gary Hardwick says it's going to be grand when it's finished. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be absolutely amazing. William Petit's on a diet so his ashes won't take up too much space. Well, listen, everybody who goes in there, we're getting these solid granite receptacles. They're solid granite. It's like a jewel box. You open the lid up and you put your ashes in there, but it's made of solid granite. So they're going to be spectacular. They're going to be brilliant. I know it's ridiculous because we'll be dead, but listen, come on, we're human. We just like to know that we're, you know what I mean? I think it's wonderful. And being part of that, even when you're dead, and your relatives coming, maybe in 100 years, and saying, can you tell me, where is it? He's up there, third row, number 4. That's him. There's his plaque. And open up the books and see when you joined, what you bought. You had a sword, you had a dagger, you had an axe, you had one of these big things, all that stuff. And if you're knighted, where you were knighted, what church, because with Poland, Hungary, France, Spain, and then they can go and follow that trail that you were on, maybe 100 years before, and go to those same churches and meet the brothers over there. Where else can modern man leave such a resonance? I don't know, and I think that's why a lot of people are attracted to the Templars. Yeah. Yeah, Discord's the same, yeah. Yeah, be careful with any comments, even in Discord, anywhere, because these things will be used against us, and if necessary, probably in a court of law. So be careful. Philip Milne, you're more than welcome, brother, to come over when it's finished. You come over, and me and you will kneel in the chapel, and we will pray together, my dear brother. But I mean, as I say, I think that's why a lot of people are attracted to the Templars. It's not the main reason you should be attracted, but I can understand it in these uncertain times that your family have got a link with you. I couldn't tell you. Well, my grandfather could, because he went and fought at the front in the First World War, in the Western Front. So I could roughly go to where he fought, and I could see the same fields and no doubt the same bars and everything where he was. And so it's quite amazing. But other than that, most people can't tell you where their great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather was and what he'd done and walk in his footsteps and read about his life and all that. And what we're going to do when we do the chapel, you will have a page in our massive big pigskin leather book. You will have every person who's in there will have a page of themselves, for themselves. So all the details from us will be in there. But then you have 500 words. You have 500 words which we will incorporate into that book that you can speak from beyond the grave. So if your relatives come in 30 years, 40 years, 100 years, 200 years, they can see the message you've left for them. So whether you want to just give a brief description of your life or leave a message for them, speaking down through the mists of time, through the centuries, that blows me away. To think that your great-great-grandson, who's not even born, not even 2 generations away from being born, can pick up that great book in that chapter house and read about you. And then there's a whole page, 500 or 600 words, where you are speaking to them. Thank you for coming here. I want to speak to you. I'm long gone, but how are you doing? What about your life? Are you all right with God? What think you of Christ? Or whatever. It's absolutely incredible. So that's what we are working towards. And if you can help us, please do. And if you're a Templar, you should. So, and everybody else who has helped us so far, God bless you. We really appreciate it. Right, what are we going to get into now? I tell you what we're going to get into. We're going to get into this outrageous thing that I've seen just recently. Bullying. Black Lives Matter behaving like absolute bully boys and attacking people unless you raise your hand like this. And this is going on without by your leave. Nobody sees we're doing anything about it. Have a wee look. I think have we got a video? We've got a video. Have a look at this.
Down, Ken! Down, Ken! That's crazy!
Put your mask on now, huh? Motherfucker! Pasty piece of shit!
Wow!
Motherfucker!
White supremacy! Hey! Get somebody get this.
This is outrageous, isn't it? That's terrible. Have you ever seen the like of that, ladies and gentlemen, in all your born days? Have you ever seen anything so distasteful, so aggressive, and so uncomfortable? These people are behaving like vile beasts of the field. They're attacking people. From Dublin, good, yes, good stuff. This is outrageous, and I don't know why people are doing that. And why are people putting up with it? And people are being intimidated. Imagine you, just put your, let's go personal here. You are out with your grandkids, or you're out with your own kids, and your wife. or your husband, and you're in a restaurant, and these guys all come in and start screaming at you and tell you to put your hand up, and they're really getting aggressive, and some people are being attacked, put your hand up. It takes quite a bit of courage not to put your hand up. Wouldn't bother me in the slightest. They could rip my hand. The only way they get my hand off is if they cut it off and held it up themselves, because I wouldn't be doing it whether they killed me or not. No way. But this is communism. This is like Pol Pot, the killing fields of Cambodia. All dissension must be crushed. Anybody who's not in with the programme must be destroyed. You'll be hunted down like a wild beast and slaughtered where they catch you. That's where we're going with this. Make no mistake about it. These people would hack you to death in a second if they had machetes and they thought they'd get away with it. And it's already happening. This is unbelievable. This is the end times. Rorik Erickson says it. We are indeed in the end times. Now, is it going to be next week or next month? I don't know. I don't think so. I think we have a few years left to go yet. We have to see the whole thing pan out. The son of perdition, remember. Remember this book here. Certain things have to happen. The son of perdition has to rise. The Antichrist himself will be revealed. And then the Lord will come with his army of angels to sort the whole thing out. So these things are now happening. But listen, can I ask you a question here? Is it just me, or do you recognise a massive acceleration in this? We're seeing in weeks now things that used to take years to roll out. It's happening in weeks, sometimes days. Is it me, or do you think the same? I'd like your feedback on this, because sometimes I think I'm going cuckoo. I think, what is going on? Things that you normally would see starting, and then it would have a natural life and it would get worse and worse, but it would take about 5 years, maybe 10 years. It's now happening in days or weeks, not even months. It's days or weeks, and we'll get chaos. I've noticed it, and I think I hope other people notice it, or I may well indeed be going mad. But I don't think I am. Yeah, Dr. Louis says that's why you're fighting to keep your guns. You keep your guns. I'll tell you, if they had their guns off you, you wouldn't last 2 minutes. They are intent in doing good people harm. There's no doubt in my mind about it. Yeah, it's a quickening, all right. It's good. I'm glad. Well, yes, William Mumford says like a snowball. It's getting faster and faster and bigger. Isn't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? And I think that's why some people have been drawn in here. Look, there's YouTube channels out there with thousands of imbeciles on it, and they're all just talking nonsense. They've no answers. There's no answers. We have every answer to every situation. Do you know why? Because it's here. It's here. It's all here. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, not one single situation that our people face that we do not have the answer for, because we have a book that gives us every answer. So it's not us. It's God who has the answers, and we are instruments of God. We are God's battalions, and we're not LARPers. We walk the walk. We talk the talk, but we also walk the walk, and that's important, because nowadays most people are tuned into these channels, and they're a bunch of lunatics, crackpots, indulging in all sorts of fantasies and conspiracies. Nobody actually gets off their fat backside and does anything. Well, you know that's not the case with the Templars. We say, we do. And that's it. But it is getting really insane. Yeah, Bartley Burker says because America's turned away from God. Of course, Ireland's the same. You should see the state of one-time Holy Catholic Ireland. It's a mess. It's full of trans things, and the government's went mad. Sinn Féin are now LGBTQ, the old IRA. They're running about at gay pride marches. They're bringing in immigrants. Everything's went mad. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Remember, Americans, on your money. What does it say? In God we trust. So we don't actually trust in anything other than God. Donald Trump is doing as good a job as he can, but we trust in God first. We trust in God first. So that's where we are. It's quite frightening. And we've been warned about this in the Bible, but it really is accelerating now and ramping up. So it's really important that you try and draw other good people that you know, and other good Christians, family members, draw them in, introduce them to the Templars. I mean, we don't need members. We've never sought big memberships. Not important to us. It's quality. But in such uncertain times, we're telling you, you'll need something, because what's coming is horrible. And it's much better if we stand together, because in unity there lies strength, but only if we're unified in the same principles, and that is that book. There's people come to us and say, well, I'm a pagan. Can I join the Templars? No, you can't. No, you cannot. Go away. Go and join some squirrel sacrificing outfit, whatever pagans do these days. I don't know, dance around trees naked in the middle of the night. I don't know what they do, but they're not doing it with us. It's as simple as that. So we need to get real. And if you're not a Templar, I'm going to get the brother to put a join link up. If you're not a Templar, you should be. You don't have to spend loads of money and become a full knight. You can be an affiliate. It's nothing. It's $5 or $6 a month. You can be a Templar. And it gives you access into other brothers and sisters. And listen, we all get a bit down, don't we? Because the pressure's on us, decent folk. But at least then you've got other people who are sensible, who are orderly, who do things in decent and good order to bounce things off you. Because I guarantee you're in a lot of chat rooms and all you hear is lunacy. You don't want that. You don't need that in your life. It won't stabilise you. It'll make you worse. But you come in with the Templar people. All your people are very sensible, very considerate. Okay, they might be very hard line, but they're lovely, decent people. And I can tell you that. They're the best people on God's earth. They're the salt of the earth. So, if you haven't joined the Templars, please do so. The final thing I want to bring you today is these... has anybody got... Did I advertise this already? This big, massive night thing. Look at it. We've got a load more coming in. And people were asking for them. So, well, there you go. They're here. Fill your boots. You wanted them. We've got them. Get them while you can. Because I'm sure there's another lockdown coming and we won't be able to do it. Oh, and just to give you more good news, these are probably getting UPS pings through your phone or through your email or whatever it is. I don't know how they do it. We've got about another 2 days' work and every single outstanding weapon will be gone. Warriors are gone. The techie guys just tell me. So the warrior packs are gone. That's the sword and the dagger. Gone. Swords, gone. Daggers, gone. Bibles, gone. Hammer and axes, tomorrow. And I just really, from the bottom of my heart, I really mean this. I want to thank yous all, each and every one of yous who waited months. And there's some people, brother, how long has some people been waiting? January?
Yeah, that's the bottom of the
Letter openers, letter openers. Some people are waiting for letter openers since January. This is August, almost September. Who does that? Who I mean, this is why I say our people are the best people in the world. Who sits patiently and waits for 7 months without griping, moaning, screaming? There was that one English fella. That one English guy gave us a hard time. Yeah, we don't want to talk about him. He's got his and all. Yeah. By the way, he's not a member, thankfully. He just wanted to buy some stuff. So, but that's it. So by tomorrow, everything will be out. There's a huge shipment coming in because we don't, excuse me, we don't want to get, good grief. I saw this rain. So we don't want to get caught out again. So what we're doing, we're investing a huge sum of money, much to some people's annoyance, and we're bringing in a massive stock so that we've got the stuff. So do us a favour. If you've been going to order anything lately, like these things, and like, order them now. Order them now, because it takes the balance sheet down a bit and it'll get me out a bit of trouble because people are, I'm not saying they're moaning, but they're moaning. Yeah, and the storage is a nightmare. We don't know where we're going to put it all, but we've got a huge container. And so if you need any weapons, what have you got? Maces, war axes, battle axes, swords, daggers, shields, helmets. If you want any of them things, we'll put a link up to the armory. We'll put a link up right now to the armory. And if you want any of them, please, get them today over the next couple of days if you can. They're all on payment plans and whatnot. But, yeah, it's caused a wee bit of controversy because we don't know where we're going to put everything, and it's a huge investment. And again, we'll put the armory up, and we've also got some big pulpit Bibles fresh in, so we've got some of them. Again, I think there's 6 sitting there. If you want some pulpit Bibles, please, today, tomorrow, the next day, whenever, get them, because you know some people don't really understand that it's a good thing to supply these things because folk don't know where to get them, or we can supply them cheaper. There's still some of the old guard to say, why are we doing this? This is a load of rubbish. Why are we doing it? So sometimes I do get a neck because I'm a young pup. And what do I know? I remember I'm 55 years of age, but I'm a young pup in this outfit. It's strange. But most of the things now are on monthly payments because, seriously, we know people are struggling. But if you're needing anything, please, over the next few days, put your orders in, and it could save my bacon a wee bit. Much appreciated. Well, that's it from me today. God bless each and every one of you. I do think everybody should pray for America in these times because there's rioting in the streets of almost every city. We're getting a bit of it in Britain, but it's all suppressed by the media. Well, the same media who were pushing the BBC to stop. We've got a thing called Last Night at the Proms, and everybody sings patriotic songs. Land of Hope and Glory, Rule Britannia, which was written by 2 Scotsmen. And they try to ban it because they say patriotism's some kind of dirty, nasty, horrible, evil thing. Ugh, you know what I'm talking about. It's just ridiculous. But let's pray for America because, look, they've got riots to contend with. They've got hurricanes to contend with now. Bad one hit America yesterday, I think. They've got looting all over the place. And they've got Joe Biden to contend with. Backed by Hillary Clinton. Should I have said that? Well, I end up in a bog with a bullet in the back of my head. Oh, shush. I need to take me into protective custody.
Hillary Clinton and Michael Obama.
Michael Obama and Hillary Clinton will be after me. I maybe need to go and live in this chapter house because it's well built. Right, if you don't see me, you know what's happened. They've got me. I'll be lying in a cornfield in Arkansas. Let's hope not. No, because remember this, and it goes for you as well. He who is in us is far greater than he who is in them. Because we have the Lord and they have Satan. And Satan trumps the Lord trumps Satan every time. And you know it and I know it. Well, that's it. That's all I can do for today. Going to have a guest on tomorrow. So take care. If you're in trouble with these riots, you're in trouble with these hurricanes, just buckle down. You'll get through it. And you will get through it. And remember that. You will get through this. And with God's help, you'll be restored once again, even to a better place. Because God never takes something away from you without replacing it with something better. Don't forget that. So remember, as I always say, until I see you again, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Deus Vault.